Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Farah Laurent. Today, I want to talk to you about what is live streaming and why it's a must in 2026, especially if you are a business owner. And yes, I'm talking to nurse entrepreneurs as well. For those who don't know me, as I mentioned, I am Dr. Farah Laurent. I've been a nurse over 20 years, started out in emergency medicine, education, and leadership, and held various roles both in Canada and the US. I've also been featured in media such as The Jennifer Hudson Show and Black Enterprise for all the work that I do as a nurse career coach. I've helped over 200 nurses land their dream role in specialty areas like the ICU, the ER, NICU, psych, you name it. And not only are they getting their specialty area, they're making six figures. I'm talking up to $175,000, yes, as new graduate nurses. So if you're a new grad looking to get hired faster, DM me. And I also help entrepreneurs get visible, build their brand so that they can get paid opportunities. I'm also the host of Nurses Making Business Moves conference. If you haven't gotten your ticket, go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com. I'll drop the link below after this live. So let's get into it. What is live streaming? And why is it important for you to show up and start being more visible in 2026? Let's get into it. If you have any comments or questions, if you're watching currently, drop what city you are currently watching from. Any comments or questions, drop them in the chat. I'm currently live on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so as we're talking about live streaming, I am currently live streaming to all these different platforms. Okay, I've been live streaming now for 4 years and I've been doing this weekly. So, what does live streaming mean? It literally means that I'm streaming live right now, right, from the comfort of my own home, and I'm showing up on multiple platforms at the same time. Now, you might be thinking, well, how are you doing this, right? So, before certain platforms, you couldn't just go live. You actually, for LinkedIn, I'll give you an example. Back in the day when I first started, doing live streams, you actually had to do an application process on LinkedIn. You needed a specific amount of followers to be able to apply, and you had to actually create content, not just written posts, but they wanted to see consistent posting of videos so that they can allow you the opportunity to apply, and then they had to either approve you or disapprove your application. So I actually got approved as an early adopter of live streaming on LinkedIn, and I did have to go through the application process. Now, you don't necessarily have to do an application. I believe on LinkedIn, all you need is about 150 followers and you're able to go live. Okay. But you no longer need to go through the application process. Now, other platforms are a little different. TikTok, I, I'm new to TikTok, so I can't speak too much on it, but I know before you need a specific amount of followers. Right now, I don't think you need a specific amount. All you do is just hit the live button and then you're live on TikTok. The only difference on TikTok is that you have to go live on the app, on the actual TikTok app. So I'm showing you right now. There's my all my lights, but I'm going live on TikTok through my actual phone. Okay. And then I use a third party software called Restream. So shout out to Restream. If you want to sponsor my podcast, feel free to reach out to me, and I probably should reach out to Restream. I will check out to see if I do have an affiliate Restream code, and then I will share that with you guys. But I've been using Restream for a couple years now, and it the cost depends. There is a free version for Restream, but there's also a paid version. So I'm doing the paid version. Currently, I think it's like $19 for the month. But then there's another paid version where you can actually, after you go live, it chops up your content for you into short form video. So what does that mean? So let's say right now I do a live for about 30 minutes or an hour. What Restream will do will, at the end, because I pay for the extra version, at the end of this stream, what it will do is take 5 clips automatically without me doing anything, generated by AI. And it takes the 5 top clips that it thinks will do really well at short form video. Short form video meaning anywhere from 30 seconds to about 90 seconds. And then I can later repost that by just the click of a button. If I hit publish, I can publish on multiple platforms at the same time. All right. So how do you go live? You literally purchase the software, Restream. So if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll see if I have an affiliate link and I'll give it to you. Once you purchase, you literally will be in the studio kind of phase. For those who are podcasters, or even if you go on Zoom, it kind of looks like a Zoom, but on the top of the screen, you'll see yourself on video. Once you hit live, then that means you'll be live on multiple platforms. But of course, you need to connect all your platforms to be able to go right live. And again, it's an extra cost to go on multiple platforms. But the reason I like it is you don't have to create content on every single platform all the time. So for those busy entrepreneurs, busy nurses that are just getting started in business or trying to build their personal brand and trying to get out there and create content, this is a really good thing to do because you can literally go live once a week for 30 minutes and have 5 pieces of short form content that you can produce videos for all week if you want to post 5 days a week, right? So that's kind of the breakdown. There's a little bit more involved. The thing about the live stream, obviously, is you're live. Yes, there is the option. Some people pre-record it, but technically I say that's not really truly going live, right? I don't pre-record my stuff. I am on here because when people message, have a question or a comment, I'm able to respond in real time and go back and forth. So that's why I think people love streaming, because you're able to connect with the person as close to as like you're in person, right? At an in-person event. And the other thing about live streaming, you can't fake it. It's either you know what you're talking about or you don't. All right. And there's a lot of fear around this. So many entrepreneurs, number one, are even fearful of just posting a written posts, like just writing something and posting it, and let alone just doing a video and putting it out there. People are so fearful. So really, live streaming is an opportunity that not many people want to get into because it's so real and raw, right? There's no pausing. What you see is what you get. It's real. So like, I'm here, I'm a real person. This is not AI. There's no scripting going on. It's just me and my thought leadership talking about, what I've researched, what I know, my lived experience and all of that. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you guys have tried to go live in the past. And I also, my podcast, The Nursing Dose with Farah, I also bring on guests and interview them live. A lot of them get nervous, but it happens live. And then sometimes I take the audio and I put it on Spotify. I haven't been as consistent doing that because I truly think going live is where it's at, right? Because all this content will stay on YouTube and, it'll stay on LinkedIn for a certain amount of time as well. But it's the best. I don't go back and edit anything. I just interview my guests. And I think people really enjoy that part of it because there's no editing. There's no, it's just real conversations. Okay. So on LinkedIn, I'm going to share a couple stats with you. There are only about, I would say, 1% out of like over a billion users. There's only about 1% of LinkedIn users who go live monthly. That's once a month. Okay. I, on the other hand, I am in another category, which is very far, like not many people are in this category, and that's 0.1%. I'm in the 0.1%, one of the top percentage of creators who go live weekly. So I go live at least 3 to 5 times a week. And sometimes I've gone live 7 days a week. Okay. I think one time I went live for like 30 days straight or something like that. Right. So not only am I in the top 1% of content creators, but for going live, I'm in the 0.1 top percent. Okay. That's pretty amazing. And that is, on a platform that has over 1 billion users. So think about, if you are a business, why that is so important for you to be one of the top creators, because you want to have access to that market, to that visibility for opportunities. Okay. And yes, you can have a social media manager who does your stuff. That's great if you're able to afford that, right? But if you're truly building a business, whether you're a founder, a consultant, a coach, whatever it is you're doing, building a brand really requires you to show up consistently and be visible, and you be the face of your business or company or whatever you're building. People want to know about you. They want to know the backstory and why you started the business, right? Think about, I did a project, I believe, yeah, it was in my doctorate degree. I did a project and we were talking about marketing and things like that. We did a group project and we chose Nike because that was a brand that I really thought did a good job of like reinventing themselves over the years. And why is my computer not? Hold on. I thought my computer was charged. I was like, I don't want to have it die on them. But, I read about the founding members, how they started it and everything, and really what their values were and what they stood for, right? So that's part of brand building, and going live helps you tell your story. Okay. So for those, like I said, who don't know me, I always share these things. I'm a proud first-gen immigrant, immigrated to Canada when I was like 9, went to nursing school in Canada. My nursing faculty was not that diverse. The student body was, but not the faculty. And, I always tell the story. My clinical instructor literally laughed in my face and was like, "You'll never be an emergency nurse. You should just go to med surg. And you're too unorganized. You're never going to make it as an ER nurse." And I was like, "All right, cool. Watch me." I was like, "Watch me." So I got hired as a nursing student. Fast forward, I promised myself that I would be an educator, later become a clinical instructor. So I actually became a clinical instructor at NYU School of Nursing in New York. Shout out to them for giving me that opportunity, coming from a small city in Windsor, Ontario, and then being able to teach at one of the biggest nursing schools. I was super proud of myself, and it was one of my favorite jobs, really inspiring that next generation and telling them that they could start wherever they wanted, right? So that's what led me to start my business, Farah Laurent International Nurse Coach. Super long name, but whatever. I decided to take what I was doing for free, mentoring and coaching and helping these nurses getting into specialty areas. And I was like, you know what? I can turn this into a business. So then I started it as a business in the summer of 2021, started coaching individual one-on-one new graduate nurses, helping them land jobs in the ER, the ICU, labor and delivery. And again, they saw themselves in me, because people till this day are still telling these new nurses and nursing students that they can't do it. They shouldn't do this. They shouldn't do that. But I don't believe in that old school narrative. So that's why I've built literally my brand around nurses are unstoppable. Nurses should be bold. They should do whatever it is that they want in or outside of healthcare, beyond the bedside, whatever it is. you should be free to do what you want. And that's what I help nurses do. I help them be more bold, more confident, and go after what it is that they want. So I've helped over 200 nurses land their dream role. I've now transitioned more into group coaching because it's just better to build community and just, I've created a course as well that they go through. So the group coaching model just works better for me. I still do one-on-one, but it's very rare coaching. And then so many nurses came to me and were like, well, how did you start this business? How did you become a nurse career coach? Do you have to get an MBA? Do you have to get a certification? No, you don't. You don't need a certification. You don't need to go back to school to get an MBA. You can become a consultant or a coach, right? All you got to do is just open up and have a business structure. Just register your business, whether you want an LLC or whatever it is that you decide works best for you. So I ended up writing a book, Nurses Making Money Moves, A Nurse's Guide to Starting a Business. So if you're interested in that, check it out at nursefair.com. You can check out that book. I also have my course, The New Nurse, the Dream Role course, on my website. And if you want to check out the conference that I built, Nurses Making Money Moves, now turned into Nurses Making Business Moves, it has its own official website called nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com. You can get your tickets now. It'll be in Tampa, Florida, March 6th and 7th at the University in Tampa in their Entrepreneurship Center, the John P. Loth Entrepreneurship Center. So how cool is that, right? So now I help aspiring nurse entrepreneurs and nurse entrepreneurs really build out their visibility, build out their brand so that they can show up consistently and get paid opportunities and get more clients. Okay. So this is why it's so important to go live. I shared earlier that I just hit over 32,000 followers on LinkedIn. And part of that strategy was going live weekly. Okay. Shout out to Melba. What's up, Melba? She came to the last conference and she says, hate the word can't. Yes, exactly. I've built my whole brand around just being like unstoppable, making things happen, figuring out a way to do things, right? So that's what this movement is all about, the Nurses Making Business Moves movement. And I'm super proud to have built this community on all these different platforms of nurses who are really joining the movement and the force, right? So that is why I've been consistently going live, because I actually love, the community. I love responding to comments in real time because I'm a true educator and I love interacting with people in real time. Right? So let's get into it quickly, because I did share that I will be sharing 5 reasons why you should go live. Okay. Of course, being in the top percent of creators is very important. And then also platforms all the platforms, but, TikTok and LinkedIn, especially, they're really wanting people to go live because platforms want people to stay engaged. They want people to stay on their platforms. So this is another reason why live content gets pushed, gets more engagement, and has more benefits than just doing video. Okay. I believe, again, you should do everything. You should do a little bit of everything. But going live is going to take your business, take your brand and your opportunities to the next level. Okay. And also, people trust realness and transparency. People trust consistency. I've been going live every week, like I said, for 4 years. And I still feel like that's not even enough, right? So imagine not going live. If you post one post, not very many people are going to see it. So the more content you create, the better, right? I'll share again the 7-11-4 rule. There's a Google rule that talks about marketing and buyer behavior. Typically, people want to see your brand, have an interaction with you or your brand, or see your content, or at least interact with you in person for at least 7 hours before they make a purchasing decision or actually buy from you. So whether you have a product or a service, if you can go live, you will get to that 7 hours a lot more quickly. And it has to be in like a 90-day time frame, right? So think about just creating short form content. You have to create a lot of short videos to get to 7 hours. But let's say you go live 7 times a month, right? In 1 month, you're going to hit that 7 hours. Let's say you go an hour every single day for 7 days. You're going to hit that 7 hours in a week. So think about the clients that you're going to attract. You're going to attract more clients, right? So let's get into the 5 reasons you should be going live, and it should be part of your content strategy and your marketing strategy if you are a business owner in 2026. Okay. So the number one reason, I mentioned it earlier, is doing live streams as I'm doing now, live, builds trust in real time. Okay. Um, you know, Melba, I hope you're still watching, but Melba's on and a bunch of people are here. Shout out to the advocacy nurse, Dr. Celia McIntosh. She's on TikTok. But, building trust is you got to show up. People need to see your face. They need to know you. They need to interact with you in order for you to be trusted. Okay. So, like I said, you can't fake stuff when you're live. There's no AI. It's a real person. There's no scripts. It's not phony or fake. People are showing up live. I'm answering questions live. I'm teaching live. And you get a sense of like who I am, my values, and you get a chance to interact. So, number one reason is you build trust in real time. Okay. And then people want to see how you think, how you respond in real time. And people just trust real presence and consistency. Okay, that's number one. Okay, so if you're just joining me now, I'm talking about the 5 reasons you should be live streaming in 2026 and what it means for business growth. Your business will grow, whether you are a consultant, a coach, whatever your business is. You should be going live and talking about your business, talking about your brand, talking about your story and what it is that you do, why you do it, the impact, the purpose you want to make. People want to see you. They want to see your face, okay, and know about you. All right. So, number one reason, it builds trust in real time. Number 2 reason is visibility equals opportunity. Out of sight, out of mind. If you are not being visible and you're not being seen, you're not going to be considered for opportunities. Okay. In 2026, and I mean in 2025 and 2026, people have reached out to me, and even before, for speaking opportunities, to be on panels, paid keynote opportunities. People see you, they see the work that you do, they see you're consistent, more opportunities will come. Other people will refer you. It's just what it is. You have to be seen. You have to be out there in person. Don't get me wrong. I still think you should be going to events, going to networking events in person. Hence, like the Nurses Making Business Moves conference in Tampa, Florida, because it's going to be the dopest conference of the year, 2026. You can't miss it, right? It's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. You can't miss it. Dr. Celia McIntosh knows, she was there, and Melba knows she was there too. So thanks for your support. Shout out to you guys. Okay. So yes, visibility builds opportunity. Yes, in-person events are big energy on another level. Meeting people in person is the number one strategy for networking, but also online and being visible, live streaming is the next best thing. All right. And again, like I said, more watch time, more reach, more conversations, more opportunities. That's just it. Okay. And then number 3, going live builds community, right? I have some people that are constantly coming back when I'm doing lives or even watching the replays and comment and, things like that. Going live builds community. Yes, posting written posts are great. That should be part of your strategy as well. Videos are great, but live streaming takes it to another level because you're building community, not just content. Okay. And anyone can use AI now. And it's okay. I use AI too to create some of my content. But again, going live is where it's at because people see your personality. People want to connect with other people before they trust you, before they want to do business with you. They want to know what type of person you are, what type of energy, what type of personality, what you stand for, your values. And live streaming gives that to them. It builds that community. Okay. And it creates real connection. And people want to be part of a movement, part of a tribe. So they want to know the story behind things, right? So that's how you're building community. So share your struggles, share your failures, share your wins. Take them on the journey, right? Behind the scenes. Take them on the journey of like how you're becoming a nurse entrepreneur. For me, I share this all the time. I was laid off 3 times in the last 5 years. And I feel like I've almost been pushed into entrepreneurship. Because it was the choice that I had to make. Do I keep sitting around, waiting around, being in these organizations that don't value me, or just because I'm being an advocate are, reporting their toxic behaviors to HR, all of a sudden they're restructuring and my position's been affected, right? I'm like, well, I'm going to make this happen, right? I'm going to create events and spaces that nurses can be real, can grow, can be in community, no gatekeeping. And I'm going to teach other nurses how to start their own businesses, how to build their own brands, how to negotiate their salaries so they're not in the same boat that I was in, like slapped in the face, literally in the middle of an education meeting. As a director of education, they pulled me out and they're like, oh, come to the C-suite for a minute. And they're like, yeah, so your position's been affected. I'm like, okay. I was like, when? They're like, oh, effective now. So then I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to put all my effort into building my business and building my brand because no one can take that away, right? And I'm going to be savvy and take all my nursing skills, all my past experience and put it into entrepreneurship, right? So I went all in, started writing books, started going live, creating content, going to events, speaking at events, creating my own conference, having, multiple sources of income. I was even writing for magazines, getting, writing gigs and getting paid for that. And really just truly building my brand. Like I said, I got featured on the Jennifer Hudson Show, Black Enterprise, because it's important to build your digital footprint and build that brand so that you can get more opportunities. And live streaming has done that for me. And I've created a community where also other people are seeing my story, seeing themselves in me and what I've been doing. So, I appreciate all the support. Okay. Number 4 is authority, right? Going live builds authority, and authority is demonstrated. It's not declared, right? So like if you see somebody constantly showing up, constantly going live, you're like, okay, this person like has something to say. They're a thought leader in the industry. So for me, people know me like to be the live stream queen in the nursing industry. Like I'm always going live, always creating content and really building my brand, building community, building this movement, right? And going live, like I said, is a must if you're a business owner. If no one knows about you, they're not going to know about your website. They're not going to be able to buy your service or product. If you're writing a book right now and no one knows you're writing a book, what are you doing? Like, don't wait. Sometimes it takes a year or 2 years to write a book, and then people don't announce anything until their book launch. I'm like, no. Take them through the journey from the beginning. Okay, that's building a brand, bringing people into your community and everything like that. Okay, so number 4, the reason to go live is building authority, and authority is demonstrated. Okay, The proof is consistency. All right. And another thing I love to do on my lives is also teaching and sharing information. So, a true educator, try to use live streams as that as well. Bring value, give value so that people see, like, oh my goodness, like she's giving actionable advice. These are things that I can put into place. Okay. And then number 5, one of the top reasons is going live actually converts. What does conversion mean? It means getting clients, getting paid clients, whether that's them buying your book, whether it's buying your service, going to your conference, or whatever it is. Going live increases engagement, increases visibility, and increases conversion. People will buy from you because they trust you, because they see you all the time. Somebody was saying the other day, they're like, oh my gosh, every time I open up LinkedIn, you're always in my feed. Like your face is always in my feed. I'm like, that's right. You're going to see more of me. You're going to, I'm going to be in your face. I'm always there creating content, talking about something, teaching something, right? So that's basically what it is. You attract more clients, you attract more opportunities. People trust you and they want to do business with you because they see you all the time. They feel like they know you. I recently went to a speaking engagement for Sienna. It's like it was like an international global conference for internationally educated nurses. And I was there and so many people came up to me and they're like, hey, Farah, blah, 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 like I see your content on LinkedIn and da, 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 right? So people feel like they know you when you go live. Okay. So like I said, it helps attract opportunities, helps attract clients, and then you get inbound marketing, which is literally people will find you because it also helps with like SEO, like search engine optimization. Like I'm not an expert in all that stuff, but if you're constantly in people's feeds, you're constantly creating content, and you have a digital footprint, when people Google you, a bunch of stuff will come up. So you're more credible, right? Because you're consistent, you're creating content, you're publishing things. So go live. Okay. Let me know if you have any comments or questions. But I'm just going to wrap it up now because I think I talked enough. It was like 32 minutes. So again, for those who are just joining and maybe you missed it, definitely watch the whole replay, but I'll summarize it for you now. The reason you should be going live is simple. It creates trust. It builds your brand, builds community. People will get to know you and decide if they like you and decide if they want to do business with you. People do business with people, and you need to build trust and create brand community. And then more opportunities will come to you when you're consistent, when you're visible, when you're adding value and giving away content. People will be attracted to that. Okay. So again, number 1, going live creates trust in real time. Number 2, visibility creates opportunity and consistency as well, right? Number 3, community beats just creating content, because when you go live, you can interact with the individual, you can interact with your potential clients, your community, the audience, right? And then number 4, going live, it demonstrates authority. Not everybody could do this. Okay. Right? People have so much fear when it comes to content, especially videos, and going live. Like if you go live, you're taking it to the next level. Next level, right? We're not playing in 2026. If you want to take your business to the next level, let's go. And you need to join us at Nurses Making Business Moves. Okay. And then number 5, going live converts. You attract opportunities, you attract more clients. And clients are coming to you. You're not chasing them. They're coming to you because they see you and they trust you. They feel like they know you. Okay? So live streaming has to be part of your marketing strategy in 2026. It is a must. All right? So that's it. Again, if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets to the Nurses Making Business Moves conference. It's going to happen in Tampa, Florida. I'll put the link now. But for those that are on the other platforms, just go to nursesmakingbusinessmoves.com if you want to get your ticket in Tampa, Florida at the University of Tampa in their entrepreneurship building, March 6th and 7th. Okay. It's only 10 minutes from the international airport. Really easy to get to. And Tampa has really good flights that go into Tampa. So there's a lot of options. Okay. And of course, if you do go live monthly, you'll be in the top 1% of creators on LinkedIn. If you go live 3 to 5 times a week, you'll be in the 0.1 top percent of content creators. So that's huge for your business and for your brand. What else? For any new nurse that wants to get hired faster, direct message me. I have weekly webinars that I host. You can go to newnursejob.com. You can sign up for one of those webinars. If the date is not there yet, don't worry. Once you sign up, you'll get notified by email. What else? I'm planning an upcoming in-person workshop in February. It's going to be happening February 28th, that last day of February. It'll be in New Jersey for anybody in the tri-state or nearby area. If you're interested, let me know because it'll be limited. There's a limited amount of space, but I will be talking about personal branding and how to be visible for your career and business growth in 2026. Okay. And what else? I'm also hosting a private exclusive dinner at the end of the month in New Jersey as well. It's going to be a luncheon, vision board, and sip cocktails event. And that's happening January 31st. I only have a few seats left. So if you are in the New Jersey tri-state nearby area, direct message me if you're interested in that exclusive event. Again, it's only by invite only. You can't find a website for it or anything like that. Just direct message me if you're interested. I only have a couple seats left for that event. And that is part of my strategy for this year. I'm going to be doing more smaller in-person events. Of course, I'll still do my annual conference. And this year it's going to be in Tampa, March 6th and 7th. But I will also do more mini events. I did a dinner in New York City on November 19th. That was Women's Entrepreneurship Day. So that turned out really well. And more people have been asking for me to take kind of a mini tour with the dinners and lunches that I'm doing. So I'm going to be doing more workshops. I'm also going to be planning my mastermind business retreat. I did a couple of those last year and people really liked it. So that is going to be in Clearwater Beach. So I'm still looking at some dates in the spring. So anyways, if you're interested in any of these events, please just direct message me. And yeah, I just encourage you to live stream. If you want to know how to live stream, your current business owner or nurse entrepreneur, and you're like, I don't know how to create content. I don't know how to do all this. Direct message me. I have a group coaching program for aspiring business owners and current business owners where I help them with all this stuff. All right. So just message me. That's it. All right. Until next time, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was valuable. Drop any comments or questions that you have if you're watching the replay. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Nursing Dose with Farah. And for all the new nurses, look out for more YouTube videos specifically on how to get hired faster, how to interview, and how to stand out by building a personal brand as a new nurse. Okay.